what it is. I am live. Let me just make sure everybody can see it. It's always an issue, potentially. Let's see if we are live. Are we live right now? Let's check it. Refresh. Am I showing live now? I am showing live. Perfect. Good. All right. So I'm live. I am all ears and all eyes for anyone who would like to ask me anything and everything. I'm happy to help with anyone, whatever problem you're having in your business, how you're trying to grow, if you run into a plateau, you have questions about how we do things, anything at all with certain obvious restrictions. Certain things I can't go into from HIPAA. There all the rules and regulations that we have to follow. I have to follow. So, how can I be of assistance? I would love to find, whatever I can help with. So I'll be on. I know it takes a minute usually with the live for everyone to jump on and ask questions, but if you are watching and you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just sit here and stare at the camera for a few minutes. Ask me anything. Ask me anything. Let's see. Guess I'll put that in a banner. Let's do that. Let's do this one. Yeah. Ooh, look at that. All right. What do you got? Anybody got a question, comment, concern? I'd love to help with whatever you're dealing with in your business. You're just checking me out or whatever. That's cool too, I guess. I don't blame you. My wife wouldn't blame you. But yeah, I'm here to help anybody with anything that I can. I just got to open up a few things, make sure there's not any things going on. Let's double check YouTube. So we are live on multiple platforms, but this is your chance. Type it in the comments. That's the easiest way to ask questions here. You can also send me a message on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, you name it. Not that hard to find typically. Not that hard to find. You're missing the lives that I'm doing. That's kind of what I'm going to try doing. Either I'll have a reason to talk, a mission that I'm trying to get across, or just trying to provide value to this agent community, this industry that's provided my family and myself so much amazing stuff. And so there's not a lot of folks out there willing to take time out of their day when they get to a certain level that can actually give you the information of, I've been there, done that. This is what I would do. This is what I would avoid. But yeah, I've learned a lot of things in my life the hard way, and I like to help people avoid the same fate if possible. Let's take a look here. No questions. Everyone's just going to stare at me. Is that what's going on? There's at least a handful of people watching the live. What can I help you with? Anybody? How can I help? I am ready to help. Let's see. Getting all these channels up. Make sure I don't miss any comments, etc. Yeah. Ooh, that got rid of 3 people. That's okay. They obviously didn't have a question. But yeah, what can I help with? What can I answer? Otherwise, I'll just spitball some stuff I've got going on. So we've got a live training on Wednesday afternoon, 3 p.m. Mountain Time. I'm going to run through how to run an AEP appointment, how to run an OEP appointment, and how to run an appointment rest of year as far as how I do things to maximize my time, my efficiency, maximize referrals, maximize opportunities. I'm all about maximization and not over systematizing things. As we get deeper and deeper into this AI stuff, you're going to have a larger and larger value placed on those that don't over automate, don't over integrate AI. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't want to shop through AI. I even get annoyed at like a Taco Bell where they want me to use a stupid touchscreen instead of a staff member to order my food. And so the populations that we deal with when it comes to Medicare are going to be in that same boat where they're going to prefer not to have the process automated for the most part. Now, obviously, there's going to be some. And so being in on the technology waves when they come out is important. It is productive to do that. However, The new normal of competition is going to become like, instead of, hey, we have AI, it's going to be, hey, we still do it old school. You can still talk to a human being. How do you get your customers? You close so many yearly. At this point in my career, I'm in essence completely relying on two things. Referrals is by far the number one way I acquire a client, is word of mouth. And most of that word of mouth comes from my clients directly, not from referral partner sources. Although I do get a lot from the referral partners, I could lose all my referral partners and live exclusively off referrals I get from my clients. And so the key to that part of it would be three things. One, have a consistent, repeatable, duplicatable experience and process. Are you doing it personally or with the team? Well, I have, my team does a portion of it. So I've gone back and forth. Right now, I handle the scheduling myself. This time of year, I'll also handle the fact finding myself. And so there's really two segments of the year, AEP and the rest of the year. So I have two different processes and systems for each one. But I'm handling as much as I can personally, because the critical part of a new relationship is establishing and building an actual relationship. And so I've learned over my career, you can't outsource a lot of the relationship building unless there's a very, 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 very good reason to do that, which during annual enrollment period, because there's a constriction of time and I only have 53 days, assuming I work all 7 days a week and no time off, which I don't do that anymore. My family and I made the sacrifices for the first few years where you share your system with us. I mean, yeah, of course, that's the whole point of the Medicare Machine Factory and all the trainings I do. I mean, Belinda, if you missed my training from last Wednesday, I gave away a ton of value. The one before that, the weekend before that on Wednesday at 3, I give a ton of value. I try to over deliver and over promise across. So yeah, of course, we have ways for you to get our system. What are you specific? What do you mean my system? Okay, perfect. So my system this time of year is get someone to call in, get someone to, as I said, it's 90% referrals. I'm not doing anything. I am bringing back some seminars, live seminars. I really enjoy doing live seminars, and I need to teach my team, a lot of people on my team, how to do those. And so I am of the belief that I'm only qualified to teach people what I do or have done and actively are doing. Like, there's a big difference. Like someone that says, oh, I did seminars and they did them 2, 3, 4 years ago, even a year ago, the environment is completely different. And how you would want to do a seminar now, a webinar now, would be different than even 6 months ago. And so, yeah, the process is refined over time. And honestly, it's the same, but it's different each time, if that makes sense, where each audience is different. Each set of questions that you're going to get in any environment is going to be different. But overall, the experience is what you got to nail down. What does the client experience look like for you? And what do you want it to look like? How many touches do you have with them before you have an appointment? What touches do you have before an appointment? When do you do the fact finding? How you do the fact finding? On the back end, what additional questions and follow-ups do you use? What stuff do you automate? What stuff do you systematize and or delegate if you have a staff? So there's a lot of moving parts to that question. But do you have any specific questions I can help with? Are there certain things that are causing you a bottleneck? Are there certain things that you don't like to do? I can maybe dig in and help you if you have more specific questions. But I definitely want to share my system. That's the whole reason I'm doing this. Is I would love to affect a change on this industry that pulls us away from the trend that's been everything gravitating towards this call center stuff. I call it crap, frankly, because the call center movement has caused people like myself who really care about clients and really go to the face-to-face models become a volume game instead of a volume with quality game. And now it's reverting back. The carriers are switching their stance, and now they want quality business again, which is what I've been trying to do the whole time. You should have a high 90s retention rate, or what they call an accretion rate, and they're tracking that stuff. Do I buy leads? The leads I buy would be, so I guess I'll start with this. I used to buy leads, 100% used to buy leads. Nowadays, the traditional lead, I don't just want to say it's completely dead, but it's definitely exponentially more difficult to generate a lead and then get them on the phone again. So whether you're doing direct mail, you're doing other digital stuff, the lead itself isn't the good or bad. It's the system and process that lead is put through. And in my experience nowadays in today's environment, you're better served spending more money per lead to have a higher cost per acquisition, to have inbound traffic. So inbound traffic could be a call, could be a walk into your office, could be an email, could be a form fill on your website. The form fill on your website is a more difficult transition because you have the same problem with most leads, which is getting them on the phone again. And part of that problem is the relentless pounding that these clients are receiving that are non-compliant calls or in that gray area of compliance, where they violate the no unsolicited contact rule. And so, yeah, for me, grassroots is really good, but I would call it deep roots marketing. It's a long play. You're developing a long-term relationship, and that's much more difficult to get into because most of the low-lying fruit, if you will, has already been picked. And so if I were to buy leads now, I would, if I had enough money, I would do seminars or webinars, or I would use direct mail or Facebook or Google, some kind of digital marketing to generate inbound, like real inbound traffic. I'm not talking about live transfers where we're in this gray area of compliance. Anybody that you're going to get from a live transfer is a certain type of client, which is someone who's been trained or being trained actively to be a plan switcher, plan changer. And if you're wanting long-term business relationships, which is what the carriers want, the carriers don't want you to move them from company to company, plan to plan from year to year. That's not the model. The model is long-term stability for the client, long-term stability for the carriers, long-term stability for you. And the longer-term stability that you have on all three of those areas, the easier it is to keep clients. It's kind of like a marriage. Like you don't want to get a new marriage partner every year unless you really, really, really have to, right? Unless there's a reason to be divorced. And so, leads, I would be focused if I was going to do leads, high intent, high quality, less volume, more geared towards inbound traffic, walking in the door, calling you, like a customer initiated contact, not a transfer. Again, so I would stay away from live transfers unless you have a ton of volume you need to do and you're okay with the 50 to 70% retention rate, which unless you can get it in the 70s or higher, you're going to have a hard time getting carriers to support that at this point. The model has shifted away from that. But are there certain types of leads that you've tried to buy, Belinda, or certain ones that you're trying to work? Or anybody else watching? Anybody else have any questions about the leads you're doing, the processes you're rolling, how you can improve your systems and processes to either have better retention rates, better referral rates, better cross-selling rates? Because all those things are tied together. Your customer relationship that you build and develop and then maintain will determine all those things. And most of the gimmick stuff may work up front, but the long-term retention rates, like that's the data you should be asking for anyone that you're getting trained by or systems you're plugging into. Like, what is your long-term retention rate? What is your accretion rate? On the cross-sell policies, how many of them go charged back? How much of this business is transactional versus, tell me about the retention rate's usually going to tell you most. Because the only way to achieve retention, I've bought Medicare leads, life, and all types, but low retention closing rate. Yeah, like I said, that's going to be normal, especially if you're not in a position where you're generating the activity yourself. If there's a third party involved, as like a lead vendor, as an example, their entire business model is to create as many leads as possible and sell as many leads as possible. That's the model, and that doesn't translate typically, in my experience, to high retention. And so inherently, if you're buying leads rather than generating them, that could be the issue itself. What you want to do is control your marketing. And controlling your marketing is not your upline doing it for you or anybody doing it for you. The whole done for you thing is overplayed. Very few people are actually going to do it for you at the same level they would do it for themselves. That's the inherent problem, is everyone's trying to get a piece of the pie. And frankly, anywhere, like go to any lead vendor right now and see if one of the top 2 or 3 bullet points is, we have the highest retention rate of any lead out there. It's because people aren't going to take that and make that claim, because they can't. Because the systems and processes they're creating is creating an environment where they know, like all these companies know, whether it's direct mail, whether it's digital marketing, et cetera, they know the avatar of the target market they're going after, like people that advertise seminars as an example. All those companies know who the plate lickers are. And some of them do and some of them don't do things to remove the plate lickers from the pool of people that they're advertising to. And so you could end up unbeknownst to you, having half the room that you're about to present to or half the leads you're about to work that are plate lickers or plan shoppers or just flat changed their plan 5 times in the last year. That kind of situation creates a situation. So yeah, I know I'm trying to have that schedule now. So through the end of AEP or OEP, excuse me, it's going to be Wednesday at 3 p.m. Mountain, hour and a half or so training each time, trying to bring the heat and the content that everyone needs in this industry, which is how to do this the right way with integrity, honor, respecting the client, respecting the carrier, and respecting ourselves as we all try to build out and carve out a book of business, right? It's a weird dichotomy in this industry where we they tell us we're building our own business, but the reality is we don't own or control the product, and we don't own or control the marketing in many situations. And so in those it's a glorified network marketing with a license. Right? So Amway, Herbalife, any of the millions others, Mary Kay, any of those direct sales models, that's all insurance is with a little bit of regulation thrown in. And so the same model applies. Most of the entities out there focus on recruiting the biggest team possible, with the trade-off being you're going to leave a wake of a bunch of agents who didn't get the support, training, et cetera, because what they're trying to do is cherry pick through either clients or agent groups to figure out who are the producers, who are the big referrers, who are the big sellers. And that's really the game that we're all in right now, is this we're all part of the churn, and whether anyone wants to admit it or not. And so I'm on a mission to change this industry, one agent, one client at a time, so that all this crud that's going on and making it difficult for people doing the right thing or right by people, et cetera, like I'm on a mission to get rid of this stuff. So yeah, that's where I'm big on. What else? It's the Belinda and Joshua show, Belinda. So go ahead, keep on firing away, whatever you got. I've got about 12 more minutes of this live at the most that I'm going to do, and then I'm going to get back to my day helping people and crushing it. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. Anybody, even if it was 10 seconds, even if you're going to watch this later on, I try to make sure everyone gets some value every time I'm on doing something. I'm not doing this for me, that's for sure. If I was going to do what's smart for me, I would just sail into the sunset, honestly. I'm in a position where I could just do that. Okay, cool. Well, I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday, 3 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm not sure what time zone you're in or anybody else, but put it on your calendar now. If you haven't signed up for I guess I should put that in the comments too, or the ticker, if you will. But if you haven't signed up for the, I don't know what to call it, opt-in for the notices. So I send out emails, I send out other stuff. So yeah, right around dinner time, but I promise to make it effective and powerful for you, and you're allowed to eat dinner while we do it. But yeah, for those that are looking to level up, I'm doing free trainings. Doesn't cost you anything. There's no obligation. If you want to know about the stuff I'm doing first, because as we go deeper into this, I'll probably be doing more stuff. What I mean by that is we're going to be launching new things. We're going to be doing some cool stuff as we go. So it's at the bottom of the screen right now, Belinda, and I'll put it. I'll send you a message on Facebook too with the link. But basically, you need to go on and you need to register that you want to receive messages from me. And I'm not going to be pitching and selling a bunch of crud. I'm genuinely just trying to plug into the people in the industry that want this, need this, and align with us. I'm not trying to be the end-all, see-all for everybody, and I'm not looking to build anything that anyone else has already built. I want to do it our way, do it differently, and really help the industry grow. Anyone else other than Belinda that has questions, since I've already answered all of Belinda's questions today? If not, I'll give it another minute or two, and otherwise I will let everyone have a good day, and I'll do another live. I don't know whether it'll be tomorrow or when I'll do it, but again, this Wednesday's training is on how I run appointments, front to back. How do I schedule them? What do I do between the point it's scheduled, the actual appointment? When do I do fact finding? How do I do fact finding? Why do I do fact finding? And then what do I do with that information? How do I create the experience that becomes referable? Because Joshua is awesome is not a reason someone's going to call me. Okay, my clients are trained. You should be training your clients on how to be a client. You should train your clients on how to refer. You should train your clients on AEP and what it means, what OEP is and what it means. And so my model focuses on research, educate, add value, provide solutions. You reap what you sow. Okay. And so, yeah, Belinda, look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. I'm excited. The best thing I can say is that this industry is very much fun and it's very rewarding, and it's more and more rewarding the farther you get into it and the less you see through the BS, if you will, and the more you're able to plug into the stuff that actually matters to you. So what I would tell all of you is there's no reason to do anything you don't like doing long term. But in the beginning, we can't make those decisions of what I do or don't want to do based off of prior experience with either other industries, other jobs, other experiences. What you want to do is test out a bunch of different stuff and tactics and methods, and you want to explore as many people as you can who are doing this on a high level to figure out what can I extrapolate out of what they're doing and apply it to what I'm doing so that I can spend the most time doing things that I enjoy in my life and experience. The stuff that I end up enjoying the most ends up being the stuff I end up best at, because I'm willing to do the dirty work, right? You got to do with discipline, the stuff that you don't like to do sometimes so that you can get to the part where you get to do what you like to do. Like, as my dad would say, and do your chores first before you try to have fun, right? And so there's that cycle of do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do. Do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do. And the farther you get into that cycle, the more and more and more you can spend your time doing the things that you want to do. So I think that's probably enough for today. If anyone else has questions, send them to me directly. Otherwise, I'll either see you on the next live or I will see you on Wednesday afternoon for the next live training. So we'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.